My name is Brendan Shute, and I built a $32 million real estate media business after nearly going bankrupt 3 times. And here's how I did it. But to understand how I got here, we gotta go all the way back to the beginning. So I was lucky enough to grow up in the suburbs of Boston. Boston's a beautiful city, and I was born to first-generation immigrants. Both my father and mother immigrated from Hong Kong and Taiwan. I was the son of rebels, in my opinion, and that's why I was a rebel myself. I got into my dream school, Boston College, but I actually decided to go way further west. I went to University of Illinois. I would be addicted to video games, playing 12 hours a day, barely going to my classes, but luckily I was smart enough to still pass. So I was pretty spoiled in high school. My mom and my parents, they took care of all the money situation. And there's a point in time where it's no longer cool to ask your mom for money. And freshman year of college, my mom was like, nah, I'm not gonna give you money. You need to start working a job. And so she actually lined me up my first job. She said, hey, I know the owner of this restaurant, Yangtze River, downtown Lexington, and we got you a job. And I'm like, no, mom, I want to hang out. I want to just chill on the weekends and play video games. I knew I had to start putting up my grown-up pants, and I pushed around this dim sum cart, and that's definitely not flattering as a first job. I was pretty much a waiter pushing around the equivalent of Spanish tapas. There's these little steamed containers of delicious Chinese treats and food. And so my next job was an internship at Zazu. This was the smartest damn alarm clock, and it was essentially the Jarvis, the Siri that was gonna work back in 2009. So those were the only 2 jobs that I held throughout college. And on top of that, I was in a few other clubs like Model UN, where I had some leadership experience. But after graduating college, after paying 4 years of my life and over $100,000 of tuition, I was looking for a job still. I did not have any jobs lined up. I had a few interviews with decent companies like Cognizant and Nielsen, a marketing firm and a consulting firm. I unfortunately did not have the game or the experience or the confidence to land these jobs. And when I got pretty close, I said stupid shit. They asked me, hey, where do I see myself in 3 years? And I said, I want to start my own business in 3 years. So I still had that entrepreneur spirit in me, but I did not know how to cultivate that. The only jobs I was able to land was a job at Verizon Wireless, working at the booth at the mall, selling cell phone plans for $8.25 an hour plus commission. And I had no commission. All right, so what did I do next? It was time to start my entrepreneurship journey. And so I looked around my room and I was like, hey, I got a camera. It's not as nice as this one, but it was a Nikon D5200. It was the first camera I had. I had enough money to buy a decent camera and lens, and I said, all right, I'm gonna be a photographer. So I posted listings on Craigslist and Facebook saying, hey, I can shoot portraits and weddings, and I actually had some decent experience shooting portraits and weddings. And I actually partied a lot on the side, so I was spending a lot of money on concert tickets at Canopy Club. And I found out that, hey, I could actually get free concert tickets if I just shoot some photos for them. So I was a club photographer as well. And that was my first step in entrepreneurship, and I got rich. I'm just kidding. I was broke as a joke. Concert photography does not pay well at all. You get free tickets that you might be able to get some of your friends in, and they might buy you some drinks. And the one wedding photography gig I got for $400, when I asked for the deposit to get paid, they pulled out their wallet, $80, and they said, hey, this is all we have. Is that good enough? And I said, damn, this is not gonna work out. And then I had another brilliant idea. I was gonna throw parties. I was gonna pull what Elon Musk did, because he was throwing parties in college, and even though I wasn't in college, I wasn't too far behind. And so that actually worked out decent. We were able to make $500, $1,000 per night once a week, and that covers rent more or less. But unfortunately, I had to do something more legitimate. So I sat down one night and I thought about, hey, I worked at a computer store. I worked at Verizon Wireless. I used to build computers because actually as a gamer, I built 2 computers earlier in my college career. I said, hey, maybe I can fix computers, because I actually saw how they fix computers here and there when I was working the reception at the computer repair shop. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna take a stab at this. So with my last $500, I decided to advertise on the back of the receipt at County Market, the local grocery store. And I decided to put up a few Craigslist posts saying, hey, I can fix your phone and computer. And I decided to build a website all in one day. And next month, I got one job, $500, one job. And I was like, hey, if I keep doing this, I might be able to get to 1,000, might be able to get to 2,000. So I also advertised iPhone repair, but I didn't know how to fix iPhones. So I hired someone who was fixing iPhones already. And I said, hey, let me just watch you fix the phone if you don't mind. And I watched intently and I was like, oh, what is that? What is this? And After that one session, I said, YOLO, I'm gonna fix the next one myself. And with the help of YouTube University and a nice toolkit, I was able to fix the next phones, no problem. I did mess up a few, but luckily, when I messed up, I just paid someone to fix it. So within a couple months, we hit 2K a month, 3K a month, 6K a month, 10K a month. And within 1 year, we had multiple technicians. We were doing $500,000 a year. And shortly after that, we had a full-fledged team of technicians and we were starting to hit 7 figures. And I still remember things were taking off. I was on Main Street fixing all the phones for all the drunk college kids. People would be yelling across the bar saying, yo, Mr. Fix It. I was a big fish in a small pond. Everyone knew me. I had a pretty banging shop and I had more money than the average college kid knew what to do with. And I was pretty happy with what I built. But as an entrepreneur, it wasn't enough. I got bored. As an entrepreneur, I'm always looking to push the envelope, always looking for that next frontier. What problems can I solve? And so I saw an opportunity with my next business venture, Market U. And at first, I started it for the wrong reasons. As an entrepreneur that made it already, who had his first initial 7-figure success, I thought the right strategy was to find a younger, hungrier entrepreneur and just be the brains and strategy and money behind the operation and let him do all the hard work. And that was a great idea until it wasn't. I met Andrew Bahari on campus. He was a younger entrepreneur considering dropping out of college because he was all in on his social media marketing agency. So Andrew and I hit it off in the beginning. We just clicked. We hired a small team of college interns. We started an office. We built it out. We had the whole nine and momentum was building. We were getting discovery calls with small business owners throughout Champaign. We were able to land retainers for $1,500, $3,000 a month and get other small businesses to trust us to take care of all their social media and marketing, to get them more leads and to get them results. Things were extremely promising. So unfortunately, as much as I prayed that Andrew was going to be the one hustling and doing the hard work, I actually was humbled and I learned the hard way that you can't just hire someone and expect them to do all the work. You actually have to vet them, you actually have to qualify them, and you actually have to see their long-term results. Luckily, I was still able to take care of business. That first year working together, we did close to $250,000. And in that same month, my girlfriend at the time decided to break up with me. I was depressed. I didn't know what to do with my life. I slept in till 2 p.m. often, and I went out to the bars just partying and getting drunk again. I still kept the business going and I was still moving things along, but I was on my own. The interns that we had hired didn't work out. And I was failing to show up to my business every day to continue closing those $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 contracts I had once closed. But something beautiful actually happened. Throughout the last year, I actually was in touch with my business partner, Colby, who had actually lost his job when I had just started Market U. Over a phone call, he invited me to fly out to California. So in March of 2018, I flew out to San Francisco Bay, California to experience what Colby had going on. So in that week, I got to experience what Aerial Canvas could become. The first job I showed up at was one of Colby's first $6 million listing jobs, and I was immediately in awe. I was just like, you get to film these properties. This is so cool. I can't wait to do this every day. So I made the decision to work for free for 3 months to show Colby what I was capable of. So after integrating with the business for a month, understanding our competition, understanding the landscape of the industry, understanding what products and services work for our clients and work to their benefit, I was able to start seeing the bigger picture. And over the course of the next few months, we were able to build a really solid foundation. And after taking the time to truly understand our clients, understand what they need, and understand the industry at large, we were able to pioneer one of the best offers in the industry and be able to take the market by storm. We offered photos, video, drone, Matterport, and a property website agents got to keep free for life to use in their listing portfolio and presentation. And they were able to get so much business and benefit in working with us. We offered that all in a bundle called a care package that we offered our clients for less than $1,000. And within a 6-month time frame, we were able to go from $40,000 to $200,000 a month. And we were able to scale up the agency to over a dozen team members that took care of shooting, editing, and then delivering for our clients a great 7-star experience. So while all of this was happening, while Aerial Canvas was scaling to 7 million and us seeing 5.7 million the year after because of the market pullback and us pulling back all the way to 4 million, it was not easy. And I stumbled across helping another agency owner, Bronson, scale up his agency. He was stuck at $15,000 a month, and he sought me out on Facebook asking for help. And the first session with me was free just because, you know, I enjoy talking about how to scale up a real estate media company. I enjoy sharing these lessons that I've learned. And he wanted more. He's like, Brandon, help me with this. Help me scale up. I'll pay you for your time. And I considered it. I said, yeah, let's try that. He was the first student. He was the first agency owner I coached. And I was able to help him put in the team, the systems, the processes, restructure his offer. So he was able to scale from $15,000 to $50,000 to now $100,000 a month. So that's how ACRE Partner began, by accident. I did not know I had the passion to teach, to help mentor other agency owners, other entrepreneurs going through these same challenges that I am. Now, my focus is all in on ACRE Partner. I could selfishly work on my own businesses, or I can help 100+ real estate media agency owners build their legacy. And that's how I'm gonna make more impact. So they can now put more opportunities out there, they can better serve their clients, and then they can better lead themselves. There's a beautiful quote by Jim Rohn about becoming a millionaire. After you become a millionaire, you can give all of your money away, because what's most important is not the $1 million. What's important is the person you have to become in the process of becoming a millionaire. So my challenge to you is seek greatness, become a millionaire, because looking back on the numbers, the $100,000 months, the millions of dollars in revenue, those markers, they're easy to name. But what really matters is the person I've become in the process. Someone who's failed, learned, adapted, and most importantly, kept going. But the truth is, I'm still figuring it all out. But if there's one thing my story proves, it's that success means never settling, never thinking that you have all the answers, and always betting on yourself, even when the outcome is not certain. If you've enjoyed my story and you want to learn more about how to do this for yourself, just subscribe and check out my other videos. Thank you for watching.